Okay, today is March 8th, 2014. Let's take a look at the market and also the stock that I've been following. Start off with the S&P 500. You see the S&P 500 kind of squeaked by with another new all-time high. So we got to be careful about that. It seems like the market is setting up for a little pullback. Now let me show you this chart here on some of the market breadth indicator here on this advanced decline line. You can see that the advanced decline line actually pulled back, and while the S&P kind of just snuck in with a new all-time high, you can see that also the new high, new low is way below its peak, or at least in the underneath below the 800 level. It's only about 399. So, but the other things that I want to also highlight is not because of try to re-emphasize the potential pullback, but also to all those naysayers about the volume and that kind of stuff. I hate to use just probably just paraphrase a campaign slogan that Bill Clinton used. It's not the volume, stupid. It's the participation. So you can see that at the AD line, the advanced decline line, kind of indicate to how broad the market participation were during this particular run up. So you got to see put everything into proper context before we draw any kind of conclusion, because we tend to try to look for correlation and all these other stuff. Again, when we look at the volume, it's not the individual daily volume spike or that sort of thing. It's the accumulation of the volume to see as the trend is being, the volume is on the accumulation side or on the distribution side. So we have to put everything in context. So with that said, let's continue on and let's take a look at the other indicator. The Dow Jones 30, we're saying the Dow Jones 30 industrial is going to hit a new all-time high and seems to be working itself up there right now. You saw a little bit outperform. It was underperformed compared to all the other market indicators. Now it seems to be a little bit, outperform the other market indicators. So it's trying to catch up and eventually gonna take out this new high here, that all-time high, because you see the Dow Jones Transportation. Remember we were saying that when it's down here, that the Dow Jones Transportation need to catch up and make a new all-time high, and which it did on Friday. So that's another indication that it's inevitable that we will see the Dow Jones 30 eventually take out that previous all-time high. Okay. Then the NASDAQ 100, you can see the NASDAQ 100 is already showing some sign of weakness on Thursday, and then on Friday, the continuation of that weakness. So we'll probably be looking at a little bit more pullback on the NASDAQ and possibly come down and fill this gap here. And it might even come back and sort of test this 36, 35 level somewhere down here and just kind of shake people off here. And then looking at the Russell 2000, again, the Russell 2000, still within this big engulfing candle. So I wouldn't be surprised that it's consolidate a little bit more. If it hold within inside of this engulfing candle and this pullback of consolidation, that would be a very positive. But if it break there, then we most likely could see it maybe work itself down to try to fill this gap here. Again, dipping back below this level here, like 1182, 1183, kind of shake some of the people up a little bit. Then it could reverse itself. But if it gets, get below this particular low on this little hammer candle here, Doji hammer, then certainly that would raise a little bit of a concern. So right now we're still kind of hovering up here. Could be just due to a normal consolidation. So the next week or so, when the Dow Jones 30 hit a new high, if we see that new high, or on a consolidation pulling back, we basically have to see a lot of these previous breakout level to see how the price action going to be. So we got to be a little bit, cautious and then be attentive on those things when it get there. So looking at some of the ETF, we could take a look at the spider. You can see the spider similarly, eventually if it's continued to go up, we probably will see it get up to this 190. And if this market really be explosive, then yeah, it could be get up to this 193. But that's maybe a little bit too ahead of ourselves when we talk about that type of a level right now. And then the diamond was basically looking for the diamond to hit a new high. So it's just kind of waiting for that. And then the Q is kind of pulling back. So again, like the NASDAQ, we're essentially looking for this potential gap might get filled. And then the IWM on the Russell ETF, probably consolidate within this particular engulfing candle here. So let's move on and look at some of the stock. The financial kind of perk up, and we're looking at the financial. Morgan Stanley, again, on the previous video, I says, too much, too fast. So essentially, that's basically what it has been doing on the financial. You see that it gapped up on the open. It's kind of faded, throughout the day on Friday here. So you got, if you got in here somewhere, and you have to take some off the table, or at least move your stop up and trail it closely, so you could protect some of your profit. You don't want to have this thing, have a big reversal, and all of a sudden you turn this, profitable trade into a losing trade. Again, with Goldman Sachs, we talk about Goldman Sachs, that 175 level, so it came up to that 175 once again, and it came down and closed it with a little bit of a doji spinning candle here. So again, move your stop up and protect some of those profit, because this is a little bit of a sign of a little bit of an exhaustion. And even though we got a little bit of a positive close and make it further high, it doesn't mean that we're clear and out of the wood, and this thing will just go up into this 182. I mean, it could happen. It could just run up, something real positive come into the weekend, and then on Monday open, it just pushes up and be very explosive, and everything just takes off, and it could come up here. But the probability is, like we said, trading is more of a numbers game, right? It's a probability. So you just have to wait that risk and reward. So why be greedy? So, that's why we say, bulls and bears make money, pig gets slaughtered, right? So don't be greedy. Then here's BFA. BFA, I actually got in, remember I got in here near the close, and took some profit. I believe I'm completely out of the position right now. So I'm just kind of waiting for it to consolidate, pull back, then look for the next trigger, and then go back in. And if it does continue to move up and it break about this level here, then I just look for the next trigger point, next setup. Because there are so many good setup out there, I don't have to just trade BFA. Right? The objective here is not to try to, stick to one stock and just trade it all the way up to the top. Right? The objective of trading is make money. So it doesn't matter which stock you trade as long as you make money. Right? Okay. And here's GM. We're basically looking at GM again. I didn't get up its GM because it gapped up, and right now it's still consolidating within this little engulfing doji candle here. So maybe you could hold above this the low of the doji candle, above this gap, then just consolidate a little bit, and it can push up and get up to this level here, somewhere around this 39 level. So we just have to keep an eye on that. Once again, if you got into this trade, just kind of protect your stop, protect your profit, and move your stop. And his Ford Motor Company, I still got in. Remember I said, once it crossed that 1550, I got in at, when it crossed that 1550 trigger point. Still holding on to that stock. So right now, basically looking at to see could it, hold above this particular baseline. And again, if I got in here, down here at this level, then definitely I would have took some profit here. But right now, I'm basically setting it up with a stop of break even. So if it hit my entry price, I'd be out. And if it's going to take off without me, that's fine. I just wait for a little consolidation up here, and maybe look for a re-entry up here, and then play it up there. So again, it's just about making money. It's not about riding the whole wave or the whole trend. You can move your money around to make your money somewhere else. It's all based on risk and reward and probability. And here's Micron. We'll talk about Micron. Got in right here near the pullback. So extension, I'm kind of keeping an eye on Micron to see what be able to hold above this this particular trend line here, and essentially, this trend line. And right now, I'm just kind of holding the position. And if it dip below this trend line, then I will just take the position off, because I have a small position. Was looking for a ad once it get above this, the close here on this little pivot. But right now, pull back at a low hammer on Thursday, and it's try to, get a little bit of a reversal, but it just continue to, pull back here. So right now, it's still holding above this this low here on this doji hammer. So we'll see on the coming week, and then we also look at Blackberry. Blackberry here. Originally, we're looking at a bull flag. Right now, this bull flag is off the table because it doesn't look more like a bull flag anymore because I was thinking about it, bull flag here and a breakout. So right now, we're basically looking for a consolidation pullback. And as long as it, hold this trend line, I think it still be good. Here's the pivot low here. That would be the key, support here. If we break this support, then maybe that Blackberry will be coming back down and retest these level here. So if it kind of consolidate and get a little squeeze and this breakout here, then it could, like we said, coming back up to this 1150 and get into a short squeeze and squeeze the short as it come up here to fill this price gap. And Jcpenney is still holding. With this trend line here, it's kind of try to break through this this downward trend line. If we break through, like we said, if we get up to this 915, then we could possibly look at that, get up to this, 1025 area, 1025, 1029. So still looking good at Jcpenney. As long as it could hold above this gap, it looks positive. And AMD. Finally AMD patient payoff, kind of waited. You can see that it's sort of like building up and getting ready, right? So it finally broke on Friday, and it broke pretty hard. So right now, we could see a little bit of a profit taking a consolidation here, because it's getting up to this level at the 405. There might be some resistance between 405 and 409. Right, so we might get a little bit profit taking when it get up here, but since you're looking for this thing to fill this gap, if it fill this gap, then there's a good possibility of it making another attempt to break this 465, 470. So we just keep an eye on it. There's certainly I did had a buy objective at when it crossed at 377, but also have a rule that I don't buy within the first 30 minutes. So, but this thing broke out so fast that it just went past my buy level. So I did not, get the last buy that I was looking for. So I did accumulate a little bit more down here while it's, within this trading band. So building up that position. So this is a position trade. It's not like one of these quick trade or something like that. So basically trying to play it back up to this 470 level. That's the game plan here. So here's the YHOO. YHOO, I got into the position and believe might have completely gotten out. Yeah, I think I did. As soon as it crosses here, because I know I was scaling it, and so right now because it was on this inside bar here on Thursday, and then when it come down to this particular low here, I basically taken off the position. Yeah, there've been so many positions. I just can't remember what I did because a lot of these things I just basically set up the stop, and it just triggers. So. Then here's the HP. We're looking for that 30 breakout and finally breaking out this baseline here. So maybe it getting ready to do a little big push. Then Apple, it's not too much to be said on Apple since it's OPEX Friday. It's always got these little pinning game that they play. They pin it at 5:30. So you can see, I thought they might even take it down to 525. So essentially, we're still looking for Apple to break this pivot and possibly get back up to this trend line, and hopefully, that thing will come up to this, this 545, 546, and break this. Then they have a possibility to get back up to this 560, 572. But right now, Apple is kind of forming a little bit of a wedge right here. So it's just a matter of time. It's going to break one way or the other. So we just hopefully it's break the right direction, but time will tell. And Amazon, they come up to this resistance here. We're looking for Amazon to fill this gap. So wouldn't be surprised for it to consolidate a little bit and maybe even come down and test this baseline and shake some of these weaker hand out before it come up and break this your resistance, get in and fill out this gap. As soon as this gap is filled, then this could set up the possibility of getting back up here and take out the previous all-time high. And then looking at Facebook. Facebook is once again, we're basically sort of seeing a little bit of consolidation. And like I said, I'm not too fond of this 127 extension here right now in the Fibonacci. But if it's set up this way, if let's say, for example, Facebook actually pulled back, okay, to the 618, somewhere around the 64 level, right, and then work itself back up and then break this, then now we're talking that there's a good possibility of getting up to this, 127, get them up to the 76. But if it break here, then my speculation here is that it might encounter resistance here and then kind of pull back, right? So, and that's basically why right now, based on here, even though it break this level here, I would not feel comfortable taking a trade here. I would rather just let it go, even though if it go up here, so let it be. Right? But if we pull back and get back to this retracement zone here and maybe find a bounce, then come up, then that would be a good play. But of course, if it come back down here, it might set up some pullback trade, pullback breakout, then that would be a good play too. So play it back up here and then look for a breakout and get up to that 127 extension. And then for Twitter, what could I say? They still have a problem. Remember we were talking about these doji candle. So we finally, got a big red candle sell off on Friday, and the key level to watch here is basically this particular low. All right, this somewhere around this 52.90. If we break that, look for the possibility to come back down to this 50 level and try to test that for support. Okay, Goldfield mining, Goldfield come pull back a little bit, like the gold stock been gold kind of pull back a little bit, but the thing is, it seems to still holding up. So right now, it's basically waiting for this level to break. If it break above this level, then I will add to my existing position. Although we say, why didn't I add on Friday? Because it went too well. Because you have to watch the sector or the market as a whole to get a sense of, is the market really moving in the direction that that you are looking for, or is it just kind of kind of fluctuating or just chopping around, right? So the thing is, if it opened down on a gap down, and then it pulled down and then come back up, and it gapped down almost a little bit of a halfway of this candle. It take out a lot of energy to move this thing back up, and essentially, if I were to add to this position, let's say on Friday, if it closed in above this candle, the Thursday close, near the close, when I see that, then that will probably give me a little bit more confidence to add to that position. So right now, I'm basically still waiting for this thing to come back up. And if it could take out this high, this closing level or this high, then I probably will add to the position. So right now, basically just managing the trade. If it come down and maybe fill this gap, essentially I'm looking for it to hold this trend line here. If it doesn't hold this trend line, then I'll be out. Definitely on this rare earth stock REE, I was talking about this candle, so I'm out. Okay, so I'm basically took my profit and got out completely. So right now, basically looking for this thing to consolidate, digest a little bit, because when it broke this baseline here, it broke pretty hard, and it can't hold this high here, and it closed. Even though, like I was saying, that even though we closed with a positive or a green candle, but it's again, it's way below the high of the day. So essentially, I'm waiting for it to consolidate a little bit here, And the next setup, if it trigger, then maybe get back in and possibly play it up to the next level. Because I do see that these rare earth element or rare earth stock might be making a run. So, but you never know. I mean, you could only watch the price action. Like I said, there's so many good candidates out there. You don't have to get stuck on just one stock or a few stock and trade those. You're basically trading for the setup anyway. So to make money is not buying, the stock. It's just like a lot of those, low price stock with big percentage move. A lot of people probably feel that they're missing out. But, it's all depends. You can make your money playing other stock. Here's silver. We'll talk about silver. Right? Let's get back to the line chart here too, so we see a little bit better on the trend instead of looking at all these gaps. And we're talking about breaking above this pivot here to get in, and then put the stop somewhere below this line here. And you can see that the reason why we want to put a stop below this line is because there's a gap here that if it dip below here, there could be a good chance that it might come down, fill this gap, and then essentially test this particular level. All right. So on Friday, actually, didn't even, try to break through this pivot level here, and it came down. So right now, we're essentially looking for that gap to get filled and see would it actually come down and fill this gap. And if it does, and then when it come back down to this particular pivot level here, let's say come down and fill this gap down here. So if it come down and set up here, then maybe we could get into a little bit of a pullback breakout play and play it back up to this level. Then if it, when this thing break out above here, then we could ride it up to this 22 quarter and that sort of thing. Okay, and then the gold miner ETF. So looking at the GDX. So I was waiting for, just keep an eye on this ETF to see could it work itself up here to break out at this 2690. Okay. And here's the junior gold miner ETF, the GDXJ. So again, we talk about the reason we don't want to take this pullback breakout a little bit pivot here is because the proximity of this breakout baseline here is doesn't give us a good reward to risk ratio. So we might as well just wait for the price to come up and break this baseline, look for a setup for this breakout, and then we play the breakout. So we'll probably see a little bit more of a pullback, and you can see that there is a, it could be setting up, this little wedge here. So basically, those are some of the stock that we've been watching, and and also the market. Definitely, the market might be setting up for another pullback, and the Dow Industrial is setting up to take out the previous all-time high. So enjoy your weekend, and good luck on your trading next week.